Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. We're here for April the 17th. We got a whole lot to do on a Saturday. We got a whole lot of picks to go through, so we had so much picks to sort through. We aren't going to do our DFS today, just picks. We got picks in boxing, horse racing, a little more of that women's tennis in that Charleston Open. We had a big day yesterday, a lot of good wins there, a little NBA, some FA Cup soccer, and then a whole lot of Major League Baseball to get into. So let's start out in the boxing and work our way up. We're going to start out with the big Demetrius Andre, Liam Williams fight. We're going to take Demetrius Andre plus 100 on points win here. So really like the even money we're getting on Andre with a points win here. Liam Williams, really tough guy, really seasoned veteran. Probably not quite the class of Demetrius Andre, but I do not foresee him being knocked out by Demetrius Andre, whose power is, I think, still a little in doubt at this middleweight class. So Demetrius Andre plus 100 on points over Liam Williams. Really like that one. Now we're going to move into a fight that's involving not really any boxers, but if there's money to be made, we got to take it anyway. We're going to take Jake Paul minus 120 with the KO versus Ben Askren. Really like Jake Paul here in the minus 120. Ben's not a real boxer. Jake Paul, I don't know if he's a real boxer, but he's certainly been training more than Ben as a boxer. Ben's more of a wrestler, more of a grappler. I look for Jake to take advantage of this pretty easy. When a boxer fights a wrestler grappler, the boxer wins in a boxing match. Now, if we were in a mixed martial arts match, a wrestling match, I would probably take Ben, but we aren't. So I think there's really good value here in the KO. I look for Jake to set this up much like his other two fights where he fights somebody with a name, but he gets a pretty easy KO and benefits off the press that comes from that. So Jake Paul minus 120 KO versus Ben Askren. All right, and then the last one, we're going to take a little bit of an upset, pretty big upset here. Ivan Riddick, who's really fought a whole lot of name guys. He had a nice fight versus Danny Garcia a little bit ago that Danny struggled with. He's got a win versus Devin Alexander. Not really when Devin Alexander meant something, but that's still a really top-notch fighter. So this guy's really seasoned, and he's been able to hang around with really elite top guys. So Regis Progreras, who I really like and I really think is a good young fighter, really up and coming. But I just like the value on this at plus 1,200. I think there's a chance that this really is a much bigger step up than I think Regis might be ready for. We'll find out if he is ready for it indeed. But I'm going to take Ivan Riddick here at plus 1,200 and really go with the value there. And maybe we can hit something there. So Ivan plus 1,200 in the Regis Progreras Ivan Riddick match. All right, let's move on to the horse racing. We got 4 stakes races we're going to bet on here. Let's start out in Oaklawn and the race 9, the Oaklawn handicap. We're going to take a win on number 2, the Express Train. Really like Express Train here. Union Rags is his pedigree with I'm a Flake, so really good breeding here. He just went off the Santa Anita handicap on the 6th of April. He ran a nice second place there, so this is really the best high-end grade stakes race that's in this race that's done anything. He also had a second place finish on the grade 1 Malibu last year versus Charlatan came up to, and then won the San Pasqual Stakes. So really good little run here for Express Train. Really like this. I think there's good value in it. So I'm going to ride Express Train here in the Oaklawn handicap. There are a couple ones I'd look at that maybe give him some problems. You got Fearless in there, who's a pretty solid horse. He just came off of first place in the Gulfstream Park Mile. You got some old school guys in Silver Prospector and Owendale that I think you have to watch out for sure as well. And so it should be an interesting race, but I just really like Express Train here. I think this will be a good race for him, and I'd go with that win bet on Express Train in the Oaklawn Handicap, race number 9, win number 2, Express Train. All right, let's go to the big race there at Oaklawn Park. Oaklawn, race number 11, the Apple Blossom. This is a loaded field. This is a Breeders' Cup type field here, and the 3 ladies who are in it that you might definitely know. You have Swiss Skydiver in it, you have Larutska, and you have Moname Girl. So 3 really big time horses here. We are going to ride with Moname Girl here. She's just been one of my favorite horses for a couple years now, and I think there's really good value there. So Oaklawn race 11, the Apple Blossom. We're going with Win Play Show, the number 6, Moname Girl. She's been just great. Breeders' Cup disc draft. She got a win. She's coming off a win this year on the Bayacoca Grade 3, but she's just been, as you know, on fire really since her birth. She has another win at the Breeders' Cup disc draft, the one before. She's a back-to-back champion there. She's on a 6-race win streak, so I'm just going to ride Moname Girl here and go with it. But this is a really fun race with a couple really deep horses. Swiss Skydiver is nothing to joke about. She also ran in the Breeders' Cup disc draft, did not do it, but we're talking about the Preakness Stakes winner here. The Kentucky Oaks, she finished 2nd in, so she is really a high-end horse and has run with the males and beat the males. She also has a 2nd in that Bluegrass Stakes, so really high-end horse in Swiss Skydiver. This should just be a really great race overall, but we're going to ride Moname Girl and look for that winning streak to continue on. All right, let's move to Keeneland. Keeneland should be starting to close back down here. We're going with the Elkhorn Stakes in Keeneland. That's race number 9. So Keeneland race 9, Elkhorn Stakes. We're going to go with an exacta box here of the number 7 North Dakota, the number 9 Channel Cat, and the number 10 Red Knight. So really throwing Channel Cat in there because of the long history of Channel Cat. It's been running for a very long time, has always been a really solid horse, and you can't just leave that out of an exacta box because you'll just feel stupid if it comes in. So Channel Cat in there for sure, but the 2 horses I'm really looking at in this race are the number 10 Red Knight and the number 7 North Dakota. My pick to win it is the number 7 North Dakota. Really like this horse. Now, it's not been, it just coming off the Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational Grade 1. It did not do really well there. It finished a disappointing 10th, but before that, in the Red Smith Handicap, it won that one, lost in the Sycamore to Red Knight, who we'll talk about next. But I just think this horse has something really special. So it's got great breeding in Starry Dreamer and Magdala del Oro. So it's really there to be taken. I think it's finally time for North Dakota to step up and win one of these big graded stakes races. But the other one I'm really looking at in this one is the number 10 Red Knight. I really like Red Knight as well. I think this is a really solid horse. If you aren't going to take Dakota or Channel Cat, this really should be your one you're bet on. It's had the better run of finishes. I don't know if it's the faster horse in this race, but it's won its races. We talked about the Red Smith Handicap, the Grade 3, or the Sycamore Grade 3. It won that one. It finished 2nd at the Red Smith Handicap. It has a win at the point of entry. It has another 2nd place finish at the Red Smith, and the horse has just been really, really solid in finishing in a money-winning position. So that would be the exacta box I go with at Keeneland, at the Elkhorn Stakes today. The number 7 North Dakota, the number 9 Channel Cat, and the number 10 Red Knight. All right, we'll go to Santa Anita and the California Stakes. So we got 2 bets here. We're going to go with an exacta box on the number 3 Country Grammar and the number 5 Independence Hall. I really, really don't like the Royal Ship, probably the favorite in this race. I do love Independence Hall, and I do think Country Grammar, a little bit of a long shot here, has something to prove here. He ran in the Tarvers Stakes last year, did not finish great, a 5th place finish behind Tiz the Law and Max Player and Kirkarko, but it does have a win in the Peter Pan. It won that race, Country Grammar, and it beat Kirkarko and Mystic Guide. So I do think it's at least there. It can run with these horses. I'm a really big fan of Country Grammar, so we're going to put Country Grammar in there with the easy favorite there, Independence Hall, who I think is the actual favorite. And so with that, we're going to go with Country Grammar as well as a win play show. So the number 3 Country Grammar win play show as well. So Santa Anita race 8, we're going to have a exacta box with the 3 Country Grammar, the 5 Independence Hall, and then we're going to have a win play show bet with the number 3 Country Grammar. So that's what we got on the horse racing front. Little light today as we start to prep up for the Kentucky Derby. I believe that's about 2.5, 3 weeks away. I can't quite get my dates right, but I think maybe 2 weeks away before the Kentucky Derby. So let's move to our WTA and the Charleston event, and we're going to take 2 bets, same person as in both bets. We're going to take the handicap line on Donka Kavinic, who we took yesterday and went a nice little bit of underdog play there, and we're going to take the plus 2.5, minus 105 versus Honest Jubar, and then we're also going to take Donka Kovinic, plus 135 versus Honest Jubar as well. So we're going to have the handicap at the plus 2.5 and the outright when these two have played each other twice. And they just played each other in the other Charleston event last week, and Donka came out the winner. And a pretty easy winner at that. So I think Donka's got the momentum here. I really like her getting plus here. So at the Charleston event, we're going to take Donka Kavinic, plus 2.5 over on us, Jubar, and the plus 135 outright winner. Okay, on to the NBA, and we had a full slate yesterday, but I didn't love the slate today. We're only going to go with 1 bet here, and that's going to be the Washington Wizards at -5 versus the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons coming off a back-to-back. So are the Wizards, but the Pistons are coming off a back-to-back with a win here, so I don't look for them to really be into this game. They got their win yesterday. I look for them to be really, really poor in this game, and I look for the Wizards, who are still fighting to try to get into that play-in situation. They're making a bit of a run. They've been really solid this last month. So I look for the Wizards to blow this game out. So I like the Wizards covering the -5 here versus the Detroit Pistons. That's all we have in the NBA. Let's move up to soccer. Only one other thing we're going to bet on in soccer for this afternoon. We gave you a handful of picks yesterday for the rest of the games this afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow with the rest of the games, but we're going to take that FA Cup matchup, Man City versus Chelsea. We're going to try it again after taking Man City to win 0 in the Champions League. They didn't quite do that, but it took a miraculous goal. But the way Chelsea has scored since Tuchel's been there, I really like Man City plus 163 to win 0 here versus Chelsea. So really, really like getting the plus there. Now, if we don't get our shutout here for Man City and the win. I like Christian Pulisic as a goal scorer, plus 340 versus Man City here versus Chelsea. Chelsea's overall on the three-way is plus 340, so I really, really do like a Pulisic goal here, because if Chelsea's going to win, it probably is going to be with Pulisic scoring a goal, since really not many other people have found a way to score goals or create goals for Chelsea in the last couple weeks. So you at least get the option of Chelsea to still lose here and Pulisic to get his goals. So plus the 340, Christian Pulisic as a goal scorer here. And Man City plus 163 to win nil. All right, let's get into some baseball. We got a whole lot of baseball again today. We're going to start out with the Arizona Diamondbacks at minus 106 with Luke Weaver on the hill over the Washington Nationals. We've been taken against Fetty here, but it hasn't always paid off, especially last week versus the Cardinals. But I'm going to write it again, and I'm mad at myself last week for not taking Arizona and Luke Weaver, especially in fantasy, but I should have bet on him as well. I think he's really, really going to be a solid pitcher for the Diamondbacks in the next couple years. He had a great outing in his last outing. I look for that to continue versus a very, very poor bats versus the Washington Nationals. So I think you're getting a really, really nice line at minus 106 with Luke Weaver here versus the poor hitting Nationals and Eric Betty on the mound. Really should be a good game for the Diamondbacks here at minus 106. We're going to just continue to ride Tampa Bay as long as they're playing New York, especially if they're going to throw Glasgow on the mound and only give him 116 versus nothing pitcher in Montgomery. The Rays own the Yankees, and if they're going to keep making lines this low because they think the Yankees are better than the Rays, which they have not even really proven for really the last 3 or 4 years here, I'm going to keep taking the Rays and keep taking the value in the minus 116, especially with a Glasgow-Montgomery matchup. Next up, the Houston Astros, who have been really, really poor of late. I think this is where they break here. Greinke also a nice little 116 versus the Seattle Mariners and flex on. Now, the Mariners have been really, really good of late, but some of that has to do with their competition. They just got off a series with their Orioles. They came back, had a nice win versus the Astros last night, but I think this is where it breaks. The Astros find their way to get back on track. I think Greinke shuts down Seattle here. So Houston Astros minus 116. Really, really like that play. All right, let's get into some run line action. The Milwaukee Brewers with Brett Anderson on the mound at minus 1.5, plus 155 versus the Pittsburgh Pirates and Trevor Cahill. I can't tell you how much I like this one. The Brewers should just rip Cahill to shreds. I couldn't even believe he was still pitching. He really hasn't been good in about 8 years, and other than him getting injured while he was good, he just is a nothing pitcher. The Brewers should carve him up pretty good. So getting a 1.5 run line at plus 155, really, really do like that. Think there's great value there. So Brewers minus 1.5 run line plus 155. I'm all over that. We had a nice win on the 2.5 run line yesterday versus the Phillies. We're just going to keep riding these really bad pitchers who were once good 7 years ago if they're going to keep giving us really, really good odds. All right, back to the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Diego Padres. There was a great game last night. Padres didn't quite come out ahead, lost in 12. We're going to take them again today. Even money on Darvish versus Kershaw. Like the Padres here, plus 100 versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm going to just ride these Padres. I think they're going to end up taking this series. Tough one to lose last night, but back on the horse and ride away. All right. Now we're going to take the Toronto Blue Jays, but we're going to take them in game 2 here. So game 2, Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5, plus 168. Versus the Kansas City Royals. Speaking of pitchers who were once good 5 to 8 years ago, Irvin Santana is back and back on the hill. So he's going to be pitching for the Royals. I look for the Blue Jays to tee off on him. I don't usually like betting on game twos of doubleheaders without seeing the results of game one, but with this pitching match up, I just don't think you can not take advantage of it. So Toronto Blue Jays on the run line -1.5. Plus 168 with Tommy Milone on the mound versus Kansas City Royals and Irvin Santana. Remember, that's game two of the doubleheader. Milone, Santana, run line -1.5 plus 168. That's what we got today. Full slate of stuff to bet on today. Be sure to follow us on greenlightnetwork.org, Greenlight Network on Facebook and YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the show on YouTube. I'm GLN Champ 5 on Twitter and Instagram. That's our show. May the odds be ever in your favor, and we're out.